Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or depending on what time of day you're watching this, boys and girls. This is Anthony and Angela with 27th Fire Wake Up. What we did today is over here. You can see we have several cans, and in maybe a grid down situation or just a bad storm or something goes on, and you don't quite have the ability to do a meal. A lot of times, if it looks like power is going to be off for a few days, your main goal is to cook what's in your freezer and what's in your refrigerator if you can. Those become priority. But in other situations, if your power is only going to be off a day or so, and you're better off leaving the freezer closed. Just let its energy be in there to keep things cold. And under certain situations, if you've got room in your freezer, my best suggestion to you is take water bottles and don't fill them all the way up, but maybe about 3/4, 80%, and put them in your freezer. So if your freezer is going to be down longer than you expect, the frozen water will protect your food a little longer. And also it will give you more drinking water depending on the situation you're in. And it will be cold drinking water for a while. So it's a good thing. But anyway, and also one of the things keep in mind is for a lot of people out there, we just had a bad storm. Most of the time when this happens, everybody raids the store. It's out of things. But that's a bad time to go. For most people, you need to be ready before the storms come. You need to be ready before the problems come. And you need to work out the scenarios in your mind of what you're dealing with before they get there. And also, depending on how large your family is, keep in mind, if you don't know how to cook these meals, it's going to be miserable. If your family hasn't eaten these meals, it's going to be miserable. You have to fix something that they're going to enjoy, or you have to have already prepared these meals. Mm-hmm. And you need to develop some of these skills on how to cook in this style. This is basically you could call it a dump meal, because pretty much everything came from a can. But a wonderful thing about this, especially if you're a prepper, so here you're in winter, it's about 16, 17 degrees outside, it's cold. We got the stove cranked up, and so the best thing to do is make soups. And in that process of making soups, look at the dates on your cans. Try to find your oldest cans, like we did, and that's what you make your soup out of. Basically, this recipe on this is, I started off with, which were new cans, by the way, of cream of chicken. That was the base. And then we started off with 2 cans of our canned chicken. Right there. And if there's not enough meat in here, then you could add more. But we're feeding 6 tonight. We have our 4 kids, my wife and I, and so we did all this. It's filled up. I think there will be plenty for everybody. But we opened up 3 cans of carrots, 3 cans of green beans. I happened to find some, what's that called? There we go, garbanzos.
Chickpeas, yep. Mm-hmm.
I found chickpeas or garbanzos, so I threw them in there. And also, what else we got over there?
Corn.
Green beans, corn, carrots, and green, So we just dumped it all in. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's
15 cans.
16 cans for 4. And I added more. And it wasn't me estimating what I need, but some how to fill the pot. And you ready for a taste test?
Yeah, and we also added some dumplings in here, some little dumplings. I was making cinnamon rolls, so he had the idea, why don't you save some of the dough and we'll put dumplings in it. So.
Not bad. And one of the things, by the way, is depending on where you're at, if you're in a prep situation, none of the juice in these cans was dumped out. Everything went into the pot. I didn't add water. I did add some pepper, got a little pepper. I did not add any salt. But one of the things that your best meal in kind of like a grid down situation, you're not going to have course 1, course 2, or course 3. Depending on how you set up your meals, you might have it if you're using freeze-dried food or meals in a jar or something like that. But like I could actually say if it was a rough or the power was out, see, I can cook this on a barbecue or with gas. I could cook this with firewood, not in this pan. I have cast iron. I have commercial. One of the things a lot of people push cast iron, and that's awesome. But I highly recommend commercial pans. They generally cooked on a gas stove. They're generally heavier duty, and some of them are lighter than cast iron and easy to cook with. And also, depending on your group, you can find something that's really large. So I suggest, but it's going to be spendy and a lot of money. Look on Facebook for like restaurants that are going out of business. But if you can add large pots and pans, which I have them, my wife was giving me a bad time because I'm always going, oh, I got a bigger one. You know, was it?
His pans are huge.
Yeah, I used to do chili and soup for easily well over 100 people. So I know how to cook and do things that way. But commercial pans are lighter. You can also use them to store and move things depending on what you're having. If you're in a situation where there's more than your family, you want something you can cook in. You don't want to be washing a bunch of dishes. And so everything is prepped. It's in this meal. On a cold day like today, this is going to be good.
You didn't add salt, right?
No salt.
Because
No
a
salt.
lot of the canned goods have various salt levels. So you don't really know what you're adding until the end. And we still didn't add any salt, but these
That's some.
got some snack mix that a friend gave us for Christmas. It's got oyster crackers and things like that, and you could spoon that right on top of your soup.
That little bit
Use
of crunch.
what you have.
That little bit of crunch. Or you can take bread and you can toast it over a fire or something like that. Chop the bread up after you're done and put it in there. It doesn't matter if it's hamburger buns. Be creative. But practice these things now and serve your family so that it's something maybe they'll look forward to. And also, if, let's say things are bad, especially if you have younger children and it really ain't looking that good, you want them to think that all things are normal. You want them to say, yeah, this is a normal meal. You know, if you guys are a bunch of box babies and you're always going out to fast food or you're opening up a box, it ain't gonna happen. You're going to, you need to learn how to cook this way. You're gonna have to do what you need to. And you need to practice these things. If you know you got a cast iron, especially I've got a giant pot I can put a turkey in, it's cast iron. I could do this meal outside over a fire with a trid, what's it called? Like cast iron, I can't think of it. A trid, something that holds it off the ground. Anyway,
Oh, a tripod?
or a tripod or divot, a divot. So I've got something, or I know how to make coals, and I can put those coals around my cast iron to cook to my meal. That'll be a later video. But, you know, if you guys like the stuff, please like and subscribe, share. I know it's just easy to kind of watch it go by, and not everybody's interested in these things. But no matter what you cook, especially these items here, remember, you can get all the canned goods in the world, but if you ain't got salt or pepper or some things, and I'm kind of a hot sauce type of person,
Yeah.
so I have hot sauces for different food. And one of the reasons, depending on your taste, if you're a person who likes heat, keep in mind that this, for some things, you don't want food fatigue. So if you got like a variety of hot sauces, I got sriracha, I got cayenne, I've got over here quite often.
There's even a blueberry sauce here.
Yes.
Ghost pepper and blueberry hot sauce.
For people give me hot sauces for Christmas, and I keep them all. I don't get rid of them. I try to use them. But one of the main things is I have all sorts of hot sauces. And here in the South, especially for beans, they have a lot of relishes. They have a lot of what's called chow chow, and I've said this before. But they use this to change the flavor of the video and not to have food fatigue. And that's what I like about hot sauces. Because one, depending if you got kids, they might not want the heat. You know, so maybe you're used to putting some jalapenos in there, but they might not eat it, so you can't cook it that way. Maybe you got someone with low salt or can't handle salt. Well, we didn't add any. But it's really hard to change for diets. And if a person's a diabetic, this would be a good deal, right?
I don't see anything wrong with that. Maybe just no dumplings or no crackers, but the rest of it's just vegetables and meat. Yeah.
So, but I can heat this up to my taste. You know, one day I can have a sriracha flavor, and another day I can have cayenne or jalapeno, and some of those things we can even pick up at Dollar Tree, Dollar General. A lot of you have a local store like that. And I don't know, did I forget anything?
No. I wonder if anyone that is watching has ever made a dump soup like this. If you have, why not give us a comment to tell us what you put in your dump soup, or what would you like to put in yours? And just give us a like and subscribe. And you don't want to run out of food, so please stock up now. And you also don't want to run out of the love of Jesus. You want to walk in love for your fellow man and be a light to the world.
Yeah, you don't want to have that, I hope anyway, not like this isn't like an end of the world mentality, but you can see right now there's shortages in the beef, there's shortages in the eggs, possibly affecting chicken, excuse me. That was good. And anyway, you don't know what's going to come short, but you don't want to be in a spot like, you know, some people I've met, you know, they're going, you know, I don't have money to get food, yet they're smoking a cigarette. Then maybe you got to stop smoking, or maybe you're drinking, you know, you got a case of beer, but you have no food. Monsters, whatever your habit is.
$20 a week.
Too many mochas at Five Brews, Dutch Bros, or Starbucks. And we're going to do more videos. We put together a 3-day supply of food, emergency, and we're going to do some more of these. And so 3 days, $25 to $35. And so if you got kids, you're not really doubling that. You're just adding to it, because depending on the size of your kids, they're not going to eat that much. We had one person comment that they would rather have breakfast bars. And about our last video, and I want to address that verbally, is the fact that a breakfast bar isn't going to fill you up. But if I add that coffee creamer to that cereal, but the cereal can also be used as a snack. In other words, is it very healthy? Up to a point, no. But part of the main thing of survival and getting through a bad situation isn't how much prep you have, it's how much heart you have. It's an ability to succeed. It's an ability not to look at the cup half empty all the time, but you have to look at either the resources you've stocked up or what you have on hand, and how can I make it work? How can I cook with this? If you're an all electric house, you see your neighbors throwing away a bunch of branches, hopefully you prep the saw so you can make a little fire outside. Well, my age, whatever it is, doesn't allow me to do that. Well, if the power's off, who cares? Also, some of these cans, if you know what you're doing, you can build a stove out of these cans. You see, the bottoms and the tops can be cut off, and you can learn how to maybe put them over a grate.
We should do a video and show them how to do that.
Okay, lots of it.
If you'd like us to do a video of any other food that you think would be good for prepping or making a stove, just leave us a comment, and we'll be glad to respond to you. You enjoying your soup?
Yeah, I forgot to pray over the food though.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.